So Magomed Ankalaev has beaten Alex Pereira. And before I get into anything I want to say in this video, Alex Pereira 100% lost that fight. Ankalaev won. A lot of people online are saying how, oh, Pereira won, absolute robbery, this and that. No, that wasn't a robbery. Pereira lost that one fair and square. It's just the way that fight played out that just pissed me off, honestly. Like, I cannot believe that's just what happened there. Like, Pereira looked so off in that fight. I don't know if that's because of Magomed or because of other things, but that didn't look like Alex Pereira. He wasn't throwing at all. He was only leg kicking. He landed like 10 strikes to the head or something like that over 25 minutes. That's stupid. And before I shit on Ankalaev, I'm going to give him some credit in this fight. Like, his striking was good. He was landing. He was hurting Pereira. And he was putting the pressure on. And that's ultimately what I think won him the fight. But there was just so much other bullshit that went on. Mainly the clinching against the fence. Like, he literally just grabbed Alex and held him there in the 4th round and was doing absolutely nothing with it. Mark Goddard stepped in once to separate them, but Ankalaev just went right back to it and kept doing it again. And that just pissed me off because, like, dude, I get, yes, this is a fight. This is MMA. You don't want just striking. But, dude, like, that clinching and him being unsuccessful in taking Pereira down, that should count for something for Alex. Alex defended every takedown Ankalaev tried against him, and he doesn't get any credit for that, and the judges don't give him any praise for that. Meanwhile, Ankalaev was unsuccessful in what he was doing. So if he was unsuccessful with takedown attempts, doesn't that mean Alex was technically controlling the fight? But honestly, whatever. Like, the judges, they're just stupid. We all know this at this point. Judging is horrendous in the UFC, and honestly, I don't think it's gonna ever change, so I'm not even gonna beat the drum on that one. And either way, like I said, I do think Ankalaev won the fight. It's just how he won that pissed me off, because now we are gonna have a guy in Magomed Ankalaev who I can assure you 1000% will not be as active as Alex, and also no one gives a shit about him, honestly. Like, let's just be honest. In that arena, we all heard the boos every single time Ankalaev did something. The clinch, even when he won the belt, he got booed. Walking away from the cage, you got booed. Like, no one cares about Ankalaev. Alex Pereira is a fan favorite. He's one of the biggest stars in the sport, and now the fans and I guess Dana White and the UFC have been robbed of one of the biggest stars in big fights. I mean, yeah, he can technically come back from this and go out there in a rematch and beat Ankalaev, but at the end of the day, if he doesn't, where does that leave Alex in the UFC? And where does that leave us as fans? Because now we have another shit champion on our hands. That's just the truth. We have a lot of shit champions right now in the UFC. Belal Muhammad is not interesting at all. Magomed Ankalaev, not interesting at all. I like Dricus du Plessis, but a lot of people don't. So a lot of people don't have interest in him either. We don't even have a champ at featherweight, and then we have Merab Dvalishvili, who I guess people like. But either way, besides like Ilya, and he's hated by many, and Islam, how many exciting champions do we really have? And the heavyweight champion doesn't even fight. So now we've lost one of the biggest stars in the UFC and one of the best champions that we had on the roster. For a guy in Ankalaev who, let's just face it, he's boring as hell. Like, maybe I sound salty, maybe this is disrespectful, but honestly, I don't really care. Like, it's the truth. The guy's boring, no one wants to watch him fight, and now he got his title shot against Alex Pereira because, of course, everybody was saying, oh, he's ducking Ankalaev, oh this, oh that. We want Ankalaev to fight Pereira. Like, are you happy now? You're happy that Pereira and Ankalaev fought? Because guess what? Ankalaev just beat him, and he's probably going to do something very similar in the next fight. So, now you have Magomed Ankalaev as the champion. Congratulations. And this isn't about being a casual or a non-casual, whatever it is. Casuals, non-casuals, it doesn't matter. You can't tell me with a straight face that you'd rather see Magomed Ankalaev as a champion over Alex Pereira. Like, I don't care how skilled or how talented or how this and that, how good Ankalaev is, the greatest fighter we've ever seen. Like, I don't care how good he is. He's not as entertaining as Pereira. He's not as exciting, and he's just not as cool. And for those reasons, I don't want to see him as a champion, and I'm not going to be excited about any of his upcoming fights. And it's a problem in the UFC that we do have right now. There's a lack of star power and a lack of big-time champions, and we're seeing that right now. I mean, who would have thought that the age of like Israel Adesanya and Kamaru Usman would have been the time that people wanted to go back to? Because at that time, not many people were a fan of them as champions either, but I would take that crop of champs over this crop any day of the week. There's no build-up, there's no entertainment, there's no excitement, and this is what you have to remember. We are watching prize fighting. We want to see the best fight the best and put on entertaining performances, and what we just saw in that main event last night was pathetic. And both fighters are at fault for that. I'm not going to completely throw the blame on Ankalaev because Pereira just didn't do enough in that fight, straight up. Like, he didn't do what he needed to do to get his hand raised, and that's why he lost the fight. This is a tough one to swallow, man, honestly. I mean, Pereira, he is one of my favorite fighters because he's entertaining as hell, and he's a lot of people's favorite fighters. And I think now we don't get to see him be a champion anymore, and he is going to take a hit from that. That will affect him, and this loss may or may not affect him. Only time will tell, but on the day, it doesn't look good. I mean, besides the main event, I'm going to touch quickly on the rest of the card. The rest of the card was awesome. Fiziev Gaethje was a scrap. Went exactly how the first fight went, pretty much, just less blood. And then also Mauricio Ruffy, I mean, holy shit, that KO against Bobby Green, that was incredible, man. Like, Ruffy is so entertaining, and I can't wait to see who he fights next in an already stacked lightweight division. The lightweight division is absolutely the best division in the UFC right now, hands down. Also went 3 for 3 on that parlay I posted, so I hope some of you guys tailed that and made some money. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling after this fight. This card was great until that main event. Just sucked the life out of everything, honestly. That was terrible. Ankalaev's a boring champ. I don't care what anybody says. It's just the truth. And I guess we'll have to wait and see. I guess next up I think we have like Vittori and Delize this week. Yeah, we got a couple fight nights before the next pay-per-view, which is stacked. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys all for watching this video. Let me know what you thought of the fight in the comments down below. See you all in the next one.